boxing world is ready.
The fight starts now!
Let's go.
How do you like it? On the show.
So aggressive, so focused.
It all comes down to this.
Still the undisputed champion of the world.
Press conference live on DAZN.
Well, a very good evening, everybody, and welcome to today's final press conference, and welcome to Matchroom Boxing's first UK fight night of 2026. And how good is it, first of all, to be back here in the North East, and not just back in the North East, back in Newcastle, but with a World Championship card to look forward to here as well on Saturday night. What a main event we have for you, the IBF World Super Welterweight Championship on the line. The champion, the defending king, the avoided, the big punching Bakhram Murtazaliev against PBK, Josh Kelly. The moment he's dreamed of for his whole life, his whole journey, has reached its last crescendo here this weekend in Newcastle as he looks to dethrone the king. And look at the talent on display here as well. We're going to be doing the press conference in a few different groups here this evening, and I'm going to come straight to Frank Smith, because Frank, how good is it, as I say, not just to be back in the North East, but to bring a World Championship main event as good as this one? How important is it to be back here in Newcastle?
Yeah, look, we've had huge nights here over the year. I was talking to Eddie the other day, actually, about the Lewis Ritson days, selling out that arena all those years back. Amazing nights we had there. The atmosphere was, probably one of the best we've seen in the UK. And this, Saturday night will be no different. And you got, all the guys up here as well today, getting their opportunity as they build through. Sold 200, 300, 400 tickets. It's a great place to be, and we're looking to bring many more big nights up to Newcastle. Yeah,
well, let's hear from the fighters then. Of course, the prelims get underway. Matchroom and DAZN YouTube channels from 5 p.m. on Saturday night. Professional debuts, the professional journeys continuing of some young fighters on this card, and we've got a terrific Northern Area lightweight title dust-up to preview for you all here on the stage this evening as well. Brad Casey, let me start with you. Fight number 4. You've done the rounds so far, been on the big stage for all 3 fights, Matchroom, Queensbury, Boxer. I just want you to tell Frank Smith what's been your favourite experience so far.
Matchroom, of course.
Probably depends who's asking, doesn't it really? But all jokes aside, in terms of that, the early stage of your journey, to be on some big shows already, what sort of confidence has that given you in the early stage of your journey?
Look, I'm very grateful to be here. Thank you to Frank Smith, Matchroom Boxing, for getting my managers, Anto and Sonny, for getting me on this. Well, camp's gone very well for this fight, and I'm just looking forward to putting on another good show and showing everybody what I'm about.
Quick prediction for Saturday?
A knockout.
Okay, look forward to seeing Brad Casey back in action on Saturday night. 21-year-old, 3-0 cruiserweight. And I talked about professional journeys continuing and title fights, but how about professional journeys just beginning as well? Because how good is this? Trained by former world champion Anthony Crolla, who is in the house here this evening as well. Commonwealth Games silver medalist, 2-time European medalist, Kieran McDonald. Kieran, welcome. The obvious question we always ask fighters when they first turn over, why was now the right time for you to make the leap?
For me, this has been a long time coming, I've always believed with my amateur pedigree I'd end up on the big shows, and I believe I deserve to be here. For me, I could have struck when the iron was hot, but the Olympic dream was always massive for me. I always wanted to go to the Olympics. Having 10 fights and winning 7 and still not making the cut, it was a bit of a pill to swallow, but this is a new journey. I've teamed up with Anthony in Manchester, and the fire's back burning, I sort of fell out of love with boxing when I took the big heartache, but, you've got to just dust yourself off and regroup.
What's Anthony's most important piece of advice been for you this week, do you think?
Just enjoy it, you only get one debut, and obviously I want to be on many of these big shows, and I believe I will be, when I get seen in action on Saturday. I believe Monday morning I'll get a contract slate in front of us, and, we'll propel, we're a massive fighting city, and I know there's only me and Josh, red and white on this card, but, the full of the North East needs these shows, so we'll all back Josh to win. The North East is one combined unit, when it comes to boxing. Football's different, we'll not get into that, but, the boxing, we're all one and we all support each other.
And just finally, what is the dream?
To win a world title at the stadium, like it's got to be, it's got to be every boy's dream to fight at the stadiums, and sell it out. Obviously, 50-odd thousand would be massive, and I can't see why not. You've just got to take each step as it comes, one fight at a time, and I believe I will be there.
Great stuff. Well, we look forward to welcoming you, Kieran McDonald, to the professional scene on Saturday night. Also good to have Lee Rogers up here on the stage with us as well, 5-time national champion out of Berkeley as well, of course. And when you look at this stage, what does all of this mean to you, Lee, to be on a platform like this?
It's just where I want to be. I said when I was 9 years old, I snuck into ringside when Paul Butler fought Stewie Hall for the last world title fight with us, yeah. And I was a little kid, I was about that big. I'm not much bigger than what I am now. And I snuck into ringside and watched it. And it's mad that the next world title fight, which I now, I'm on the undercard of it.
And you took yourself stateside. I was talking to you in the Fight Week hotel here this week, off your own back, to go over to America and spar some of the world's best. What does that say about your desire to not just improve, but to reach the top and learn all you can?
Well, you surround yourself with what you want to become, and I want to be the best. That's it, really.
Okay, look forward to seeing you in action as well, Lee, on Saturday night, part of so much talent here in the North East. And I talked about, the domestic dust-ups for an area title. They're sometimes difficult to beat, and speaking to both guys in the build-up to this one, very much looking forward to this one. The Northern Area lightweight title on the line, a massive occasion for both here. Josh, let me come to you first. Look, you and Robbie have boxed in the amateurs. What do you recall from those bouts? And although, look, this is a very different platform, and the amateurs and the pros, we know the differences, but what are you able to take from those experiences in terms of confidence into Saturday?
Yeah, 100%. Confidence. I think obviously I won both. That's got to be playing the back of his mind. I know it's a different game and a different sport in terms of amateurs and pros, but 2-0 to me. That's plays a big part in the back of my mind. Confidence.
You'll see on Saturday, mate.
I will certainly will, mate. When you get a boxing lesson.
I will see.
Yeah, we will, mate.
Is it in your mind, Robbie Coleman? I mean, is this a bit of a revenge opportunity for you on Saturday?
Mate, this is totally different. This is pro boxing. Like I say, when I started boxing, I started late. I had to learn a little bit, but then I've become good as an amateur. I done well as an amateur, and now it's a pro game. And you'll see on Saturday night when I'm coming. I'm coming on Saturday night to show you.
Perfect.
How do you, I'll leave this open to debate really, how do you both see yourselves winning this fight? What do you think will be the difference?
I'll box his head off. Yeah. You'll keep coming forward and I'll just keep picking him off. Make him look daft.
I'm going to pick you off, mate. You're not doing out.
Brilliant.
Doing nothing, you.
We'll see, won't we?
Yeah, we'll.
Okay, believe me when I tell you, this one could well steal the show. Finalising the prelims on Saturday night, Josh Blenkiron against Robbie Coleman, the vacant Northern Area lightweight title on the line in that one. Going to throw down to Darren Barker, who's going to be joined with a special guest before we bring our next group of fighters to the stage to continue the press conference. Gents, best of luck on Saturday. Don't miss all the prelims from 5 p.m.
Thank you, Jamie. Anthony Croller, Kieran McDonald's first press conference. Give him marks out of 10 there. Done all right, didn't he?
Impressive. He spoke well. Dream big, didn't he? And I think you've got to, but like, I'm going to back up what he says. He's got the talent to become a world champion for sure, and hopefully, like you say, Matchroom backing him, the platform and the people behind him, it can happen.
How exciting is it working with someone as talented as Kieran?
No, of course it is. Listen, I believe Kieran could have walked into any professional gym in the country. He's super talented. The amateur pedigree you mentioned then, like any other year, but they changed you got European silver medal. Normally all the semi-finalists go to the Olympics. They changed it that year, so where only the winner went, so you should be set up there, an Olympian, but you don't. But no, great boxing IQ. Can pop for a flyweight, a super flyweight. It's going to be exciting, and I think he said he's got an army of fans coming, done very well. He's going to have great support in there Saturday night.
And what's the key for someone like Kieran? Is it activity? You want him to be busy under the lights, just keep fighting as much as possible?
Of course, activity is key. And listen, 28, he's, although he doesn't look it, he's not a spring chicken to be turning professional, but so I think at that weight you do get fast-tracked a little bit anyway, but I think he's got the talent to do that, you know. Obviously, if you're not rushing, there's a difference between fast-tracking and rushing them, isn't he? But he's certainly got the talent to do that.
I don't think we're going to get Kieran up here, but for those who haven't seen him in the amateurs, what kind of style can we expect from Kieran?
I think you'll see a little bit more of him on the front foot here as a professional. I think as an amateur, he was a huge flyweight. It was incredibly tough for him to make, so he used to box and move, where I think you'll see a lot more exciting Kieran McDonald this time. He'll sit on his shots. They come from angles. He'll fight on reflexes as well. So, yeah, it's exciting style.
And you're a legend. Jamie, back to you.
Thanks for us.
Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Anthony. Two legends in the house, two former world champions, and happy to be joined by some world champions as well, of course, on the stage here. Alif Turhan, who we'll talk about in just a moment, and of course, to preview that main event a little bit later on. Joined now on stage by the live broadcast undercard, which gets underway on Saturday from 7 p.m. with the return of Britain's latest heavyweight hope. There he is down the end, young Leo Atang. Happy belated birthday, by the way. Leo turned the grand old age of 19 yesterday, so happy birthday to Leo. Frank Smith, firstly to you. Not bad so far. 3 fights, 3 first-round knockouts, last out in Ghana. A decent opponent, a good step up for him this time round. But when you look at Leo Atang, how excited are yourself and Eddie and Matchroom about the potential of him?
Yeah, I mean, to think he's 19 years old, like you just said there, what he's already done, how calm he is, how composed he is in all of these events. I think the first fight, you saw those nerves, but after that, he just seems like he's taking it in his stride. I saw him in Ghana. He was having dancers on arrival. He had flags. He was, he had the best time. I didn't think we'd ever get him back, to be honest. I thought he wanted to fight there forever. But look, Leo can go all the way. But it's about doing it at the right pace. The key is activity. He's going to have 8 fights over the first year of his career. Keep busy. And then, we'll move at the pace as he's ready. But we're excited about the journey. We've been on great journeys with fighters in the past, all the way from their debuts, all the way through to world titles, just like what we've got with Josh Kelly. And we believe Leo can go all the way. And we're very, very excited about where that goes. Another step up on Saturday night, but he's ready for it.
Leo, welcome. Fight 4, as I said, 19 yesterday. Feeling the pace?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm getting the activity which I was promised and what I wanted, and the fact I'm getting to do it on all these big stages I'm just very grateful for the opportunity.
I remember speaking to you when you were in your first maiden fight week, about to make your professional debut, and you admitted to me now that, look, there were nerves there, and that's, of course, natural, especially when the amount of pressure that was put on your shoulders ahead of that opening bell for your professional debut. What feels different now, though, in this, your 4th professional fight week?
Obviously, there's still pressure. Obviously, there'll still be a bit of nerves because it means so much to me. But I'm starting to get a bit used to it now, relax into it. Obviously, all the outside stuff other than the boxing was all new to me. But now I'm getting it. I'm taking it in my stride. And once you get in the ring anyway, you do your thing. And
Amin Busetta, picked for toughness, I think, here. Have you been enjoying the early nights and the fights ending in the first round? Or do you think Amin could be a fighter to give you a few rounds on Saturday night?
Yeah, I think any fighter would lie if they're saying they don't want a first-round knockout. But I also know it's not boxing at the end of the day, and you do need to get the rounds under your belt, get the experience and stuff like that. So if that's what I can get out of this one, then so be it.
And your friend Dave Allen, he boxed him as well. Has he given you any advice ahead of this weekend?
Nah, just punch him hard, I guess. I don't know.
We'll look forward to seeing the return of Leo Atang on Saturday night. And we're also looking forward to this one. The title action continues here in Newcastle. The European super featherweight title on the line between Josh Padley. What a great story this has been over the last year or so, against Jawad Belmedi, who's joined by his translator in the front row, who we'll come to in just a moment. But Frank, firstly, to yourself, I mean, Josh captured the hearts, didn't he, of the nation, really, when he heroically answered that call to go to Riyadh on a few days' notice and gave it his all against one of the pound-for-pound best in action this weekend, of course, in Shakur Stevenson. Good fight last time out with Reece Bellotti, came through that, and this is another big opportunity, but the story is moving along nicely.
Yeah, for sure. Look, Josh deserves everything because he took his chance. Other fighters wouldn't have been in that position, wouldn't have been ready to go. I remember the phone call was on Wednesday night to Tom Stalker, and he was like, yeah, he's ready, he's on the plane, let's go. I mean, you don't hear it too often, but he took his chance. He went in there in the ring against a great, Shakur Stevenson looks to become a 4-weight world champion on Saturday night at Madison Square Garden. And Josh is now on this journey now to look to become European champion. He's got a tough test ahead of him, but it's exciting. It's exciting to be on journeys with fighters who want to test themselves and, take on the toughest fights in the sport.
Jawad, welcome back in the UK. It's good to see you again. We have your translator down here. How good is it to be back in the UK, and how excited are you to leave the United Kingdom with that European title around your waist?
Qu'est-ce que ça te fait, Jawad, de revenir ici en Angleterre? que tu vas combattre pour le titre de championnat d'Europe.
Écoutez, c'est une grosse fierté à titre personnel, vraiment très content, très heureux. Les dents très longues, fins, parce que ce titre, ça fait plusieurs fois qu'il tombe à l'eau. Et samedi, je ne viens pas pour faire de la figuration. Si Allah le veut, je viens vraiment pour éteindre.
Yeah, so definitely I'm very proud to be here. I deserve to be here. And so many times it was cancelled for me to fight. And today it happens. So I didn't come here just for playing. I come here really for the win.
Josh, he says he's not here just to play, he's here to win. European title up for grabs here on Saturday. What does this fight, do you think, represent in your story?
Yeah, I mean, like I say, coming up a year now since the Shakur fight, and this will be the third fight with Matchroom, 2 international titles, and then we're going to top it off with this European title, moving back towards that world stage. So massive opportunity for myself and major title on the line. So I'm going to give everything I've got and get this and make it 3 for 3.
Looking at his journey over the last few years, what do you believe is in front of you at this moment in time and why?
When you get to this stage now, everybody's going to be a good level of opposition. He's in that position for a reason, and he's beat his guys to get there. So he probably deserves this shot, same that I deserve my shot. So should make for a very good fight.
The final one to you, Joad. Josh has been in with some of the best in the sport, Shakur Stevenson, but how do you believe you beat this man on Saturday? What is your prediction?
C'est un très bon boxeur, ce qu'il me demande. C'est un très bon boxeur. J'aime beaucoup son histoire. Vraiment, beautiful story. Vraiment, j'aime beaucoup son histoire. Ça a l'air d'être un boxeur très humble et très respectueux et ce sont mes valeurs réellement. Mais samedi, il n'y a pas de valeur sur le ring. Je vais défendre. Je vais surtout combattre et faire en sorte, si Allah le veut, d'être champion d'Europe. Voilà.
Yeah, he's a good boxer. Of course, he deserves to be here, like his story. He shared the story, he shared the values. But he's very respectful as well. But Saturday, yes, there is respect, but also he really come to fight for real. And inshallah, it will happen for him.
Any means necessary, Josh?
Any means necessary. EBU title is going to be mine on Saturday night. Like I say, make it three titles for 3 titles with Matchroom and keep pushing on for next.
Just finally, who's your pick in the main event in New York?
I'm going to go Shakur. Just, like I say, I've shared the ring with him. I know what type of fighter he is. Tio's an amazing talent as well, but I'll back Shakur.
Great stuff, okay. Great weekend of boxing coming your way, of course, on DAZN, firstly here in Newcastle and then over in the Big Apple, New York City. And also on Saturday night, when you think of must-see fighters, must-see entertainment, Alif Turhan has fastly cemented herself as a must-see fight. And when you look at this, Frank, and you look at where Alif Turhan has come from, Taylor Genson here, with big plans of her own, by the way, we're going to hear from in a moment. Eddie Hearn has said, look, she's the hardest pound-for-pound puncher in female boxing. He's a huge fan. Where do you believe this story can go?
All the way, not just in female boxing, but one of the hardest punchers in boxing now, with performances she's putting in, the results she had, the activity, boxed in Monaco, just 6-7 weeks ago. But like you say, you've got Taylor here who's coming to give her a fight, and all credit and respect, because I'm sure she's seen the fights that Elif's been in, she's seen the performances she put in, but Taylor believes she can win as well. It's a real fight, but Elif has got so many opportunities ahead of her, so many big fights to be made in the division and in female boxing. It's an exciting time.
Taylor, welcome. What a great story you have, by the way, which we'll just touch on as much as we can here in this press conference format. Still serving in the army. I know I've been hugely supportive of your journey, but this is it. The top of the sport, the World Championship opportunity against one of the most feared fighters in the world right now. Just tell us what this all means to you and why.
Yeah, look, this is a dream, absolute dream come true. This is why I fight. I've been boxing for 15 years. Not many people know that. To get to this level and to be on a card as amazing as this with Matchroom against the #1 pound-for-pound female massive puncher in the world, this is what I want. This is what dreams are literally made of.
Alif, welcome. We've got your translator, Jem, down there as well in the front row. what a night you had in December, becoming world champion. What did that night, becoming world champion, mean to you and why? Tell us.
Ne ifade ediyor ve neden?
Dünya şampiyonu olmak benim için bir son değil. Hedeflediğimiz bir şeyi, istediğimiz bir şeyi elde etmek şu an için.
It's not the end of my goal. It wasn't my last goal, and ahead of me there's big things to come, and I want to achieve them.
Önemli olan bunu korumak ve daha da yukarıya taşıyabilmek.
The most important thing is defending this title and then moving on and moving forward.
Eddie Hearn says you are the hardest puncher in women's boxing right now. What is your honest opinion on that? Do you agree?
Eddie Hearn senin dünyanın en sert vuran boksörün birini olarak görüyor. Bunu katılıyor musun?
Yorum için teşekkür ederim öncelikle.
First of all, for that opinion, thank you very much.
Fakat güçlü olmak sadece başarıyı getiren tek şeyin bu olduğunu düşünmüyorum.
But punching is the hardest isn't the most important thing when it comes to fighting.
Disiplin ve özveri de çok önemli ve bu güç sadece bir parçası olarak düşünüyorum ama yine de teşekkür ederim ve bunun böyle olup olmadığını da hep beraber göreceğiz. Elimden geleni yapıyorum ama öyle olmak için.
Discipline and fight IQ is just as important, and I've prepared as hard as I can for this fight, so hopefully I can show what I've got more than just the strength. But thank you very much for the opinion.
Taylor, look, the power is one thing. When you look at Elif as an overall fighter, what have you seen in terms of weaknesses that you believe you can exploit on Saturday night?
Look, I've got a lot of respect for her. She's shown her abilities through the people that she's fought. But honestly, I think she's quite one-dimensional. That's what she has. She has that knockout power. So yeah, my aim is to go out there and I'm going to win every second of every minute of every round.
Just a response to that says you're one-dimensional and you win every second of the round.
Taylor senin tek yönlü bir boksör olduğunu söylüyor. Bunu ne diyorsun?
Sanırım şimdiye kadarki dövüşlerim çok uzun sürmediği için belki de pek gösterme fırsatım olmamış olabilir.
That's probably because the fights haven't gone as long enough for her to see anything else. But yeah, that's probably why.
Just finally, Elif, if you land your best shot on Saturday, what do you believe happens?
En iyi yumruğunu denk gelirse ne olacağını düşünüyorum.
Aslında elimden gelen her şeyi hem güç hem teknik olarak ve mental olarak en iyisine hep çalışıyorum ve elimden geleni yapıyorum. Umarım en iyisini ortaya koyabilirim. Hep bunun için çalışıyorum.
I prepare as hard as I can to be put on these sort of stages, and I'm going to do everything I can. So whatever comes on the night, it will be as a result of all my hard work.
Okay, so much to look forward to on Saturday night, Elif, and Taylor, wish you the best of luck. Cracking world title fight to look forward to on Saturday as well as the other title fights on the card and the return of Leo Atang. Darren Barker, before we return for the main event press conference, I should say, I believe is standing by with Mr. Sonny Edwards.
Thank you, Jamie. Right, Sonny, if I was to ask you to grade Leo's pro debut start, if you like, it would have to be 11, surely, out of 10.
Yeah, I think he's passed every test so far, A++. I think he's looked phenomenal doing it. He's had busy fight weeks as well, which I know, you know, to the fans watching at home, they don't really see. But look, he was a main part of the rebranding of Matchroom, straight into his first fight week for his professional debut, interviews, cameras, trips out at a hotel all week. And he got in the ring and he got him out there in about 90 seconds. And the second and third, he's done pretty much the same. He's doing everything that's being asked of him in the gym. We're all very happy with where he's at. He's got a great nutritionist and strength and conditioning as well, making sure that he's developing and maturing at the optimal rate. And yeah, he's one of those prospects that I think people, if they're not already excited over the next few years, Leo Atang's name is going to be in big headlines for sure.
What does 2026 look like for Leo Atang and the team? Is it just activity? I asked this to Anthony Crolla when it comes to Kieran McDonald. Is it just about being busy?
Yeah, being busy, hopefully plenty of the same what we've seen, but at the same time, opposition where we were expecting to see a bit more time in the ring. And, you know, if he keeps putting them away at the same sort of standard and rate that he has been as they're going up in levels with opposition of toughness, then, look, we're in the right place. He's very, very dangerous. He's a fast starter, but he can box and he can take a shot as well. So I'm looking forward to as the fights get harder, but not for any time, you know, too high of a trajectory just yet. But activity, like you said, you know, try and get him out in 2026 at least 6-7 times. And then as we start building up the rounds and going through the rounds, then start plotting our way through domestic, international, and then European and world honours to try and take the traditional route.
What's it like working with someone with that much talent? Is it, he's so young, just 19 yesterday, I believe. Is it hard at all to keep him grounded?
No, not really. I think it depends on the fighter, but with Leo Atang, he's a very humble person. He's got a great family that keep his feet on the ground. You know, well-educated people. They're not just getting carried away with, you know, the beginning success. There's still a lot of layers to the professional game, and you hear Leo, and it's refreshing to hear Leo constantly reminding, look, I'm getting these first round knockouts, but I know this isn't necessarily professional boxing. He understands from now that it's going to get harder, it's going to get tougher. He's not just, you know, buying into the hype. You know, our manager, Anto Fitzpatrick, he drums the beat of create the hype, don't believe it. And the fact that Leo, between his knockouts, is, you know, going back to the gym, doing everything that's needed of him, putting in all the work, smashing PBs constantly, sparring some great fighters up and down the country. He's going in the right direction, but it's on our job, the promoters, the managers, to make sure that he gets there when he's ready. Because if we do that job right, when he gets there, he'll stay for a long time.
Exciting times. Moving away from Leo's fight at the top of the bill, a massive one, a massive fight for Josh Kelly to realise his dream. Talk to us about the main event, tough task, Bakhram Murtazaliev. How did you see that fight playing out?
Yeah, Josh is really up against it, you'd think. Murtazaliev is a very avoided fighter. He's a world champion. He's legit. If Josh goes and pulls this off, I hope it's celebrated as the sort of upset that it potentially is looking at paper. Now, technically wise, Josh Kelly, ever since I've known him, has been one of the best in world boxing when it comes to things he can actually do in the ring. I think at times we've seen when he's really in the fire, something's missing. And then this is a fight that whatever that something has been, it can't be missing, because this is the level of it. But Josh is plenty good enough, plenty talented enough, and you know, he's in great shape and he wants this fight. If he's going to do it, this is the night to do it. But against someone that the rest of the division, the rest of the champions, don't really want nothing to do with. So, you know, he's definitely up against it, but this is boxing, anything can happen.
It's more than ball versus matador, isn't it? At times in a fight, you're going to have to hold the centre of the ring. You're going to have to mix fire with fire. He can't retreat too much, can he?
No, and Murtazaliev isn't just wild. You know, he's calculated. He's always trying to put some pressure on you, but he's not losing his balance constantly to throw and land shots. He's not just wildly throwing as heavy hands as he can. So he's going to be trying to stay with Josh, not getting outboxed at range. And then when Josh is holding his feet, he's going to try and punch with him, I think. But Josh is very, very good at getting there first and getting there third and getting away. But it's how much energy he's going to expend to be able to do that consistently against a fighter of this level. I think that's where the key of this fight is. I wouldn't be surprised to see Josh stand on him his head the first 3-4 rounds. But it's as the sort of pressure comes on and the rounds are getting longer and deeper into the fight, that's when the fight will be won or lost in moments. And as long as he can stay away from big shots and stay on top of the sort of scoreboard, I guess, as the 10-9 rounds go in, then he's got a great shot at becoming a world champion. But by no means is this, you know, an easy opportunity at all to fight for a world title. This is probably as hard as they get. We just don't know enough on this side of the world about his opponent to really give him the big fanfare for even just being a part of a fight like this. Bakhram Murtazaliev is a very good fighter.
Thanks, Sonny. Right, let's hear from the main event fighters. They're alongside Jamie on the stage.
Thank you, Darren. Thank you to Sonny Edwards as well. Here we go then, the last group of the evening, the most important, of course, as far as what is at stake goes on Saturday night, your main event press conference. And as we said in the intro, what a fight this is, the IBF World Super Welterweight Championship on the line between the defending champion, Bakhram Murtazaliev, and PBK, Josh Kelly. Before we hear from the fighters and the teams, a quick one to you, Frank Smith. Frank, back with Josh Kelly. He's back at Matchroom. What a journey it's been, a full circle moment. What do you make of this main event, and to be back working with Josh, what does this mean to you all as well?
Yeah, I was just talking to Josh. We met 11 years ago. We spent a lot of time together, even before he'd signed and before his Olympic run. And, you know, to be on a journey with a fight, although we had a couple of fights in the middle, not together, it's great to be here at this moment, at this point of his career. You know, I think he's the most mature he's been. I think he's ready for this moment. I think he's worked very hard. He's tested himself throughout his career. He's done a lot of things that other fights wouldn't have done at stages of his career, and he deserves this shot. It's a hard fight. You know, we all know about the man opposite here and what he can do and what he's done in other fights. But Josh Kelly believes he can become world champion, and so do we. The first world title fight in the Northeast in 10 years, and it's going to be a special night in there on Saturday. A big thank you, obviously, to Aegis and Kathy as well from Main Events, you know, for all their hard work in making the fight happen. But yeah, it's a big night, and excited to be back in the team with Josh. And Adam has been working on a great game plan, and looking forward to a big win on Saturday. The second British world champion of January 2026.
And I mentioned just finally, Frank, what's at stake. Obviously, career-defining night for Josh to become world champion. Potentially life-changing opportunities may await him. We've heard the name Jaron Boots Ennis mentioned as well. The upsides for the winner here are huge.
Yeah, look, he won't be looking past Saturday night. He knows he's got the test he has ahead of him. But with Josh's commercial appeal, you got to remember he's been around the sport for a long time. You know, he's got a huge profile. And we worked hard to build him in the early stages of his career, of course, and he's continued to develop and work on that. He becomes a world champion on Saturday night. He puts himself in a position in those top 5-6 names in British boxing and big commercial fights. You mentioned Boots Ennis. You've obviously got Zayn Dazayas as well, fighting Abbas Baru for the world title on Saturday. Also, Boots is looking likely to fight Virgil Ortiz. There's massive fights to be made, but he will be very much focused on Saturday. And then beyond there, there's big nights ahead.
Okay, let's hear from the teams then. Thank you, Frank. Firstly to you, Adam Booth. Adam, welcome. Great to see you. You've been with this man for a long time, through the ups, through the downs. Why was now, do you believe, the perfect time for Josh Kelly to become world champion?
The answer to that question is I haven't got time to answer it. It's been a long journey. It's 9 years. There's no such thing as a straight line to success. It's squiggly, it's up, it's down. And when someone has immense talent, talent isn't enough. If it was all about talent, Josh could have fought for the world title on his first pro fight. But there's things in life and things in the sport that you have to go through to become a complete man and fighter. And that's why I'm confident about Josh, because I've seen the evolution. I've seen him come back from the worst moments where we have a mature man in his prime without many miles on the clock, with unique skill sets, a unique flow state IQ, and that's why I'm confident.
As a challenge, as a trainer, from what you've seen in the build-up, what do you believe is in front of you in terms of a danger?
Well, Bakhram has very specific strengths and specific vulnerabilities, and I'm not going to divulge anything that I've looked at. He's a very good fighter. He's a world champion, and justifiably so. And it kind of makes us even more excited because it's real. It's not. You don't win an interim belt and get upgraded, or you fight someone that's a lesser fighter. You're fighting someone that everybody's saying they don't want to fight. And right from the get-go, Josh has said, I want to fight him, so here we are.
And you have the 3 stars on the boxing booth logo, of course, as a coach to celebrate the fighters you've trained to world glory, Andy Lee, Ryan Burnett, and of course David Hay. What will it mean to you to add number 4 on Saturday night?
As much as anything.
Okay, wish you the best of luck. Adam, of course, in the corner with Josh Kelly on Saturday. Great to also have Aegis Klimas in the building here this evening. Aegis, great to see you and welcome. You've worked with some of the best fighters in the world, from Alexander Usyk to Vasily Lomachenko, but what do you admire about the attitude, the discipline and the ability of your man here?
Good afternoon, everybody. Great to be back in UK. This is based boxing fans, people who understand, and we're looking forward to go in the ring and get boomed. Woo! That's what you like to do. But after the fight, they're gonna line up and can we make a picture with you? So we had that with a cafe, of course. We had in Wales. I can't remember that. I can't forget that night. Then Sergey Kovalev beat Nathan Cleverly years ago, and I remember when we were going into the ring and everybody was booming and yelling and whistling. But after the fight, there was a line up next to the ring. Oh, Sergey, can we make a picture with you? So looking forward for it. I believe my man brings everything what he needs to bring on Saturday night, and I have no doubts the IBF title is going to still the place where it's supposed to be.
And he's been out the ring for a little while, starting with a win on Saturday. What is the plan? Where do you want to take Bakhram Murtazaliev?
First of all, let's look first on a Saturday night.
Okay, well, no doubt big fights on the horizon. All focus, though, for now is on Saturday. Let's hear from the fighters then. Josh Kelly, firstly to you. Here we go. Been a pro 9 years now, but this is it, the crowning opportunity, all in, as the show is called, to become world champion. Just tell the world and tell everyone here what this truly means to you.
This is where I belong. This is where I'm meant to be. There's been cracks inside, outside of life, what you've got to deal through and you've got to go through, and you don't really know why they're happening at the time. You know, God's got you, and He's going to make everything. His plan's bigger than yours. So I'm in a great position now. It's all come round to this. I feel at home. I feel relaxed. This is everything I've visioned, everything I've thought about. It's come to fruition, including this. So I can't wait.
People say he's avoided. He's dangerous. He's the puncher in the fight. When you faced off on Tuesday, does Bakhram give you that fear factor? What do you see in front of you?
No, I don't look at exterior. I was saying this the other day. I said, if Bakhram never boxed and he worked in a farm, or he worked somewhere in a shopping centre, he'd be a scary-looking guy who worked in a farm, or a scary-looking guy who worked in a shopping centre. It's just the fact that he's a boxer, and it goes hand in hand with the boxing. It makes it good. I never look at exterior. If you look at all the greats like Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali, you would never walk down the street and think they're killers, but they are when they get in the ring. So I feel at ease. I feel calm. I don't know, the energy I'm feeling of Bakhram, I'm not sure if he feels a little bit out of place coming to Newcastle and stuff. I'm not sure if he's a little bit nervous or shocked, but I'm here, I'm ready to put a performance on. I feel great.
I saw an interview with you yesterday where you were almost daring him to come and try and knock you out. Why have you decided to take that approach in fight week?
I've got to. That's his style. I want him to try and take my head off. Let's come and try and really take my head off and try and hurt us. And that'll suit me down to a T.
Okay, Bakhram Murtazaliev, the champion. Welcome. As I said to you, Iggy, it's been a little while since the last fight, but how does it feel to be back under the bright lights once again?
Всем привет. Спасибо, что пришли. Чувствую себя отлично. Настроение отличное. 15 месяцев прошли очень быстро. Мы много тренировались. Так что я очень рад, что в субботу наконец-то вернусь и займусь своим любимым делом.
Good evening to everybody. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing our press conference. The 15 months was a long time, but it went very well. I was training a lot, and looking forward Saturday to step in the ring and do what I like to do, what I love to do.
They're confident, as you would expect. He says that he wants you to come and try and knock him out. What do you make of the confidence of Josh Kelly and him as a fighter?
Если честно, мне смешно, но посмотрим в субботу. Посмотрим в субботу, что он сделает и что он будет говорить после боя.
Makes me a little bit laugh about knocking me down, but let's see what Saturday going to bring, and let's see what's after the fight, what he's going to say.
Is this the type of fight, Josh, where you feel you have to be perfect for 36 minutes? How do you see it on that front?
Yeah, you have to be perfect in every fight in 36 minutes. It's not just this fight. Leading into this fight, you have to be perfect in every fight to get this fight. Concentration has to be on point, and there's no better place, there's no better time, there's no better arena to put it in at the moment in the Northeast except here. So I can't wait to get it cracking on Saturday night.
And Bakhram, final one to you. What do you plan on showing the world on Saturday night, and how do you believe you keep your belt on Saturday?
У меня план всегда очень простой: бить и не давать бить себя. Все очень просто.
Everything is very simple. I know what I'm going to do.
Okay, Josh, final one to you. What have you seen in your mind? How do you become world champion on Saturday night?
I become my world champion by doing me, going in there and taking advantage of what I need to take advantage of, performing in the little moments, all little moments throughout the fight, and just enjoy myself, taking every step as it comes, and I believe I am the new IBF world champion.
Okay, what a fight to look forward to. Your main event on Saturday night. We are going to bring Bakhram and Josh straight to the front here with Frank Smith for a face-off. IBF World Super Welterweight title. The prize this weekend live on DAZN from the Utilita Arena here in Newcastle. Bakhram Murtazaliev against Josh Kelly.
Huge chance for Josh Kelly to realise a dream of every fighter. In with the champion, Bakhram Murtazaliev, the big punching Russian, no nonsense, in your face, a proud champion. Josh Kelly, as I say, desperate to realise this dream of becoming a world champ, believes his time's now.
What are your big questions, Darren, in this one? Good to see you, by the way. Not been by yourself.
Hello, mate. Again, focus. Focus, important. I think believing in yourself. You know, you're here for a reason. You've made it this far for a reason. You've worked hard. You've done everything asked of you. And I see a lot of similarities, certainly with the fact that he's fighting for the IBF title. I was a pro 9 years, same, 31 years old, both. And that sort of experience, that age, that maturity really, really helps at the biggest stage when you need it. And he looks focused, looks confident, he looks ready, but in there with a man who's no nonsense, doesn't give much away.
Being physically ready, Darren, is one thing. What about being mentally ready? What do you have to go through to become world champion on the biggest stage of all?
Do you know what? I think a lot of the time, just shut out the external noise. We've heard him say that, and focus on the job at hand. Focus on yourself. I think sometimes you can worry at times or concentrate or focus too much on your opponent. Worry about yourself. Do you. Do Josh Kelly. Go in there and shock the world. Show everyone how good you are. Do you know what this is? This is two extremely confident fighters.
You can look at Frank Smith there. Look, he's desperate to jump in.
Just a little worried.
Yeah, I think that went on a little bit too long for Frank Smith's liking. The tension's building here ahead of a big fight on Saturday for both.
Love it. Love big moments, big fights up here.
Josh Kelly will be trying to offset him, I think, here. Josh Kelly trying to offset his man there, you can see that. And what do you make of the comments during the week about, you know, I'm daring you to come and land your best shot, daring you to come and knock me out?
Because I think being the fighter that he is, with the quick hands, the reactions that he has, that pedigree, that plays into your hands. You want that momentum to be able to generate even more power. So also, when your opponent loses their head and the discipline fades and you start to tense up and load up, then there's shows in shots. Again, if you're a counter-puncher like Josh Kelly is, then you're able to see the shots. That split second in fights like this, that little bit of a show, a sign of a fight, a punch coming, you're able to counter. So, look, he's a very good fighter, just in a very good place, but the champion's no nonsense. He's a very good fighter himself. A little unorthodox, but boy, can he punch.
Do you think it could play a part, the time out the ring, though? Do you think Adam Booth and Josh Kelly will be looking at that and thinking that's a big factor in this fight? Despite Josh only, I think, boxed around, didn't he, last year?
I think activity is so important, regardless if you're a debutant or you're fighting or defending a world title. But when you're fighting someone with the speed and reactions of someone like Josh Kelly, you want to be active, and you get that time in that distance, being under the bright lights on fight night. So yes, it may play a part. I'm sure he's done plenty of sparring, but that's with the big gloves on, that's with the head guards, etc. So yeah, I'll tell you what, it's a fantastic night. It really is. Brilliant main event Saturday night.
Yeah, really looking forward to this fight as well, concluding the prelims on Saturday night. The vacant Northern Area lightweight title between Josh Blenkiron and Robbie Coleman have had a bit to say to each other. Enjoyed their press conference as well. They fought twice in the amateurs, 2018 and 2019. Josh Blenkiron won both of those. But a big moment for both. And Darren, you always talk about the Southern area title. It's that validation, isn't it? And to do it in a domestic dust-up where there's amateur history probably makes it a bit more special.
Do you know what? If that's all you win, and there's no disrespect to the area title, you'll always be in a record book. You know, an area title record book is a big, big moment. And this is a brilliant fight.
Yeah, can't wait to see Alif Turhan back as well. 12-0 with 8 big wins by knockout. Stunned the world in the way that she beat two-time Olympic medalist Beatriz Ferreira in Monte Carlo at the back end of 2025. Quick turnaround for the newly crowned champion. She's talking about the big names, Terry Harper, Caroline Dubois. But Taylor Genson has plans of her own. What do you make, Darren, of the one-dimensional comment from Taylor Genson? She says she's going to win every second of every round, and Alif Turhan's a one-dimensional fighter. What do you make of that?
You know, there's many a fighter that's been a jack of all trades. You know, they've got a bit of everything. She's a master of one, but she can box. You know, there is some pedigree there. There is some know-how, but what she does really, really well. And I wouldn't say quite relies on it, but she uses it really, really effectively.
Did you believe that she was going to win in the manner that she did against Bia, in all honesty?
I don't think so. No. I mean, I gave her a hell of a chance, but Ferreira, with her pedigree, with her know-how, I thought she caused a lot of problems that she did, but I think she's only going to be a better fighter because of that, Turhan, so yeah.
Yep, don't miss. Turhan versus Genson, IBF World Lightweight title on the line on Saturday, and a good fight in the chief support as well. Josh Padley and Jawad Belmedi contest that vacant European super featherweight title. He was caught cold, wasn't he, Darren Belmedi, a few years back on a matchroom show against Gary Cully. He was on a solid winning run as well before that points defeat to Kanju last August. But Josh expecting him to carry more caution this time on his UK return.
I think so. He was, I wouldn't quite say clumsy. He's naturally aggressive, and he was in Gary Cully's face and walked onto a lovely left hand. Josh Padley, this is a brilliant opportunity for both, obviously, but you know, a win here, European champion, that really catapults you up the rankings, and you're getting ever so closer to a world title shot again.
What a mad 12 months it's been for Josh Padley. It's incredible, isn't it?
So, well, it's full-time now. He's a full-time fighter now. It just shows you that boxing conjures up so many fantastic narratives, Rocky-type stories, and Josh Padley's is certainly one of those.
Also on the card, Leo Atang. I know you and Sonny were talking about him in detail there. I know Sonny's a big part of the team behind the scenes. We were out with him in Ghana, and I said it up there to him on the stage, but look, as it's normal, with the pressure, I remember Eddie wheeled him out at the Matchroom Rebrad event alongside Frank Bruno and Anthony Joshua going, this is the next in line. And talk about pressure before you'd even had a professional fight. But you look at him in Ghana, completely different character now, and looks like he's just enjoying every single moment.
Can you imagine being Leo Atang? Just turned 19,
Sorry, Frank.
world at your feet, in a division, actually I'd say a sport that is looking for its next stars. The marquee division of boxing is the heavyweights. You've got a young, good-looking, talented fighter that packs a punch, 19 years old. I mean, can you imagine Frank Smith being Leo Atang?
Reminds me of you, when you were young, good-looking, punches hard, you know.
How are we feeling up there in the face-off? That went on quite a while, didn't it?
Yeah,
Anything said? We couldn't hear from where we were.
Not too much. There was a shove at the end, you know. But neither of them wanted to give up the stare down, did they? So, but it just shows. Josh Kelly's ready. He knows what he's got ahead of him. Bakhram Murtazaliev, he's a tough man, but it's going to be a proper fight. And these are the fights we want. Just like Adam said up there, you don't want to go and win an interim championship, get elevated. You want proper fights, and it's going to be a real night on Saturday.
What a huge weekend for boxing. That's where we're on DAZN.
Amazing. It really is the home of boxing. You know, when we joined DAZN just under 5 years ago now exclusively, it's because we believed in the platform and where it could go to. You know, we come off the back of here, a world title fight, we go across to MSG. Shakur Stevenson looks to become a 4-weight world champion against Teofimo Lopez at what will be a sold-out Madison Square Garden. It's going to be a great night, and DAZN is the home of boxing right now.
Alif Turhan, look, all action, we know that in the ring, and look, Taylor Genson saying all the right things here. She believes she's one-dimensional, that she'll win every second of every round on Saturday. But I know you and Eddie are big on the plan. That's something that Eddie always talks about. You look at the other champions in that lightweight division. How do you go about manoeuvring her, all going well for her on Saturday night?
I mean, look, the struggle is at the same time people actually wanting to fight her. You know, it's all well and good trying to make these fights, but people have to want to fight. It's a bit like Murtazaliev, you know, where he's been out of the ring as well, and it's because people don't want to fight him. you know, and you have to wait until that contender comes up who's ready to take that challenge. She's going to push herself into a position where people can't miss the opportunity. Look, Beatrice Ferreira was supposed to fight Caroline Dubois. You remember Caroline Dubois didn't want that fight at the time. You saw what Elif did to Beatrice Ferreira in Monaco, and Beatrice will be back, of course, but Caroline won't be looking at Elif going, oh, I want a bit of that. But we've got to keep building Elif, you know, we've got to keep building her. She's got the potential to be a superstar of the sport when she delivers performances like that. Forget female boxing. She's probably one of the most entertaining fighters in boxing right now.
Yeah, must watch.
Is there nerves? Just going back to the main event quickly, when you look at Newcastle or look at the Northeast, it's a potential real hotbed for boxing, so much talent, but what they've kind of lacked since Ritson, you could say, is someone to be top of the bill, really sort of sell shows around. How important is it that Josh Kelly wins so you can build big shows up here?
Yeah, look, you need that everywhere you go. And to think, like, talking about Ritson, when you think about the nights he created, because he never got to that world title level, as we know, but he created some of the most memorable nights of the last 10 years up here, you know. Amazing atmosphere, some of the best in the sport. And, you know, you always need that standout star. Josh Kelly has always had that potential to be it. He's finally getting his chance. I think, you know, he's someone who's tested himself, as I said up there, you know, like the Avanesian loss. We're in a fickle sport where people write fighters off because they test themselves, which is the wrong way to look at it. He's doing the same thing here. He's putting himself in against the best. If he can win, he goes and starts selling out these shows. You know, we've got a huge audience in there on Saturday. It's going to be some big ticket sellers on the undercard as well. So there's massive opportunity up here, and we want to keep pushing it.
And just quickly, back to New York. If you spoke to Eddie, what's the buzz like in the city?
I just left. I was there. I just landed this
morning.
Warmed up?
Have you warmed up yet?
Yeah, I've just you know, finally. But no, I'd rather be in Newcastle myself. I love Newcastle. We've had some good nights here over the years, but it's a huge night of boxing. That main event I mentioned earlier, obviously Shakur and Teofimo, an unbelievable fight. But look at the undercard as well. You know, what a host of great names on there. Jarrell Miller's back out, Keyshawn Davis back out on the card. Such a talented fight. Ammo Williams, another one of our debutant.
Yep.
Well, I believe he becomes world champion on Saturday night, and so that could be. We could have 3 new world champions from debut, you know, to become world champion at Matchroom just in January 2026. A great time for boxing.
How do you see that, just finally?
I love it.
The Adames fight,
Carlos
WBC
Adames,
weight title.
he showed how good he was against Hamza Shiraz, but there's something about Ammo. I think he's learned an awful lot from his defeat to Hamza Shiraz, and I think there's a lot of self-belief there. That's one I'm really looking forward to tuning in and watching.
Well, from Newcastle to New York, so much to look forward to this weekend on the global home of boxing, right here, of course, on DAZN. Join us from 1 p.m. tomorrow for the official weigh-in from myself, Jamie Ward, Darren Barker and Frank Smith. So much to look forward to here in the North East this weekend.
Josh Kelly can win that fight, but he's up against a monster. No one wants to fight him.
High stakes for huge reward. Versatile and fast, class from different angles. He's looking electric, the monstrous puncher. Powerful head and body. And these punches rain in and he's got no answer.
Incredible fight.
Class from Kelly, but it's spiked tonight as well.
This is one of the top world championship fights in many years.
Fight Night on DAZN, brought to you by That Prize Guy.
If you had the choice, what prize would change your life?
Yes!
Woohoo! The competition's from as little as 5p per entry. What are you waiting for? You could be next to change your life with that prize guy.
Fight Night on DAZN, brought to you by That Prize Guy.